what's up, you guys? Yes! There you go. Hey everyone, it's PresleyAtActiveGames.com here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little Christmassy. I know it's forbidden to talk about Christmas until after Halloween, but I felt like this was an important video to get out there, so I'm doing it now. I compromised by not wearing my Christmas sweater in this video. First of all, one thing that I've noticed about Gen Z is that we prefer experiences over stuff. This year for my birthday, I got tickets to an Imagine Dragons concert, and it was absolutely one of the best experiences of my life, and I wouldn't have traded that for any other birthday gift. It was absolutely incredible. As you guys probably know, Imagine Dragons is my favorite band, since I won't shut up about them, and I love them so much. It was an incredible experience. So concert tickets are a big gift that is absolutely incredible. Amusement parks are also a great alternative if none of your kids' favorite bands are having shows near you, because they are always fun. Who doesn't love a good amusement park and roller coaster? And they still count as an experience. As well as, if you want something more on the expensive side, you can take them on a trip to somewhere cool. I've been to Japan and London, and those were some of my favorite trips in the entire world. So if you have money to blow on a trip, do it. We'll appreciate it, I promise. Another big part about Gen Z is experimenting with identities, specifically LGBT+ identities. Ask your kids how they identify and talk to them a little bit about what pronouns they'd like to use, etc., etc. If your kid is trans plus, pronoun pens are one of my favorite things in the world. There'll be a few linked in the description below. There's this one really cool one for gender fluid kids where it has a turning thing so you can point it to the pronoun that you currently prefer. It's really useful and incredible, and having pronoun pins is a great way to show your kid that you're accepting of them and their pronouns, as well as have them have a handy way to get their pronouns out to the public. Pride apparel is also incredible. There are lots of very punny shirts on Etsy about identities, which is another great way to show your kid that you accept them. And of course, the classic pride flag is always a good thing to have. I have a giant rainbow one in my closet, and I like to wear it around as a cape. It's absolutely incredible, and your acceptance, as well as a couple of funky little gifts, are absolutely superb. That was the most Gen Z thing I've said in this video so far. Another really common thing amongst Gen Zers is that a lot of us have neurodivergences, including anxiety. A great way to alleviate a little bit of anxiety is some STEM toys. I have this spinner ring, which I absolutely love. It is rainbow and holographic and glittery, so already great. And it's this little metal ring that has a spinny bit on it, so you can just spin it. It's a great way to get rid of anxiety and worrisome thoughts and just give your body something to do. A lot of my anxiety is caused by sitting still, as you can tell, because I never sit still in any video I do, ever. A lot of anxiety is caused by that, and I get jittery really quickly. This is a great way to move around while it's still being discreet and let me focus while talking. Bex TK actually showed this to me, and I immediately fell in love with it, and so I'm super glad to have one of these. There are a bazillion other STEM toys, including jewelry, which is also really fantastic. There is a website called STEMtastic linked in the description below, which is my favorite place to shop for STEM toys, and it has been endorsed by several of my friends. It's a really incredible website with a huge variety of stuff to look at. Another really useful thing that you can get for neurodivergent kids is a subscription to Headspace. It's a really cool little app that has guided meditations for getting rid of anxiety, going to sleep, basically anything under the sun. It was recommended to me by John Green and Hannah Hart, and they have said that it has helped them a lot with their neurodivergences, and it has helped me a lot with mine as well. Another thing that I absolutely love is heavy blankets. So these weighted blankets, they're super heavy, so they seem like they'd be really uncomfortable, but the pressure makes me feel a lot better. A lot of neurodivergent kids have this thing with pressure, and that makes them feel better. Plus, they're really warm and really useful in the winters. I actually don't have one right now, but I really need another one because it really helped me sleep, so if your kid has problems getting sleep, wink wink. It's incredible. It's one of the most comfortable things I've ever slept under. Bonus points if you get a soft one, because soft blankets plus heavy blankets, I love it so much. Another thing you can get them is a class for some sort of physical activity. That's not necessarily a neurodivergent thing, but physical activity, unfortunately, has helped me a lot with my anxiety. I hate to admit that because I hate exercise, but exercising has helped me a lot. I've started roller derby classes, and I am so in love with the sport, and it is helping me a lot better having some time to move my body. If your kids are into some sports that they may or may not be into because of sports anime, make sure to get them a class for that kind of stuff, because it can really alleviate a lot of mental health problems, as well as getting moving is a thing that a lot of people really want their kids to do. I can confirm. My parents really want me to move around. With their newfound identities, a lot of kids want a voice and a way to protest against what's holding them back. So give your kid a voice for Christmas. That sounds really cheesy. Don't just sort of let them talk for Christmas, actually get them a gift. I'd recommend getting them a YouTube channel and setting them up with some social media. Here are a couple of my recommendations for YouTube cameras. I have a Canon G7X, which is just a simple little vlog camera. Any of my walk around vlogs are shot with this. It's super useful. It has this flip up screen, which is absolutely fantastic. You just saw yourself. Say hello. And you can just really easily focus and hold it out like an arm's length. And it's a really great camera quality. So this is something I would highly recommend for people who want to start a vlog camera. You don't even need a camera. You can just start with your computer's webcam. I have a really amazing Logitech webcam. Logitech makes really good webcams. Find a nice quality one and get it for your kids so that they can start making quality videos. You don't necessarily need to have that. All you need is a phone and something to say, but it certainly helps you jump off if you have a camera to make some nicer quality videos. Another thing you can do is start taking your kids to protests. I promise all of us want to protest more than retweeting things. It is a big deal. I have been to several protests in my life, and I want to go to more, and a lot of other Gen Z kids would love a way to protest against things that are holding them back. So start taking them out to protests. That's not necessarily a Christmas gift. Don't make that your only Christmas gift, please. But it is certainly a really great way to bond with your kid and go talk about some issues that are actually really bothering them. Another part of Gen Z is part of every teen generation ever, fashion and presentation. A lot of us are into very diverse expression and a lot of really amazing stuff that we express ourselves with, including makeup, a lot of makeup, as you can see right now. We love very drastic makeup and lots of bright colors. A beauty line that I'd recommend is Fenty Beauty by Rihanna, not only because I love Rihanna, but because it is an absolutely amazing line with really great formulas. I highly recommend their glow kits. I've only used them in samples, I don't have one, but all my friends highly recommend them. They're absolutely incredible. If you don't know what a highlighter is, or a glow kit is a compilation of highlighters which you put on your face and it sort of makes your skin appear glowing and youthful. It's really incredible. I love highlighters so much. And so that is something I highly recommend if your kid is into makeup, and don't discount them based on their gender. Make sure to actually ask them if they're into makeup, regardless of how they identify. Fandom merch is another big thing. A lot of us are really, really into the stuff that we love, and we'd love merch. Ask your kids about favorite bands, YouTubers, TV shows, etc., and get them some merch for them to express their fandoms with. Another thing is Brandy Melville, which is an absolutely amazing clothing producer line. I'm not sure if it's one person or if it's a group of people, but their clothing is to die for. I love it so much, and I'm totally going on an online shopping spree with them very, very soon. They sell a lot of vintage clothing, which is stuff that, well, it's more retro clothing than vintage clothing. It's like late 80s, 90s. But vintage clothing is also something that we're really into. And my favorite thing on this whole list is a vintage shop family trip. There are a lot of vintage shops around because vintage stuff is coming back into style, as it always does, and it is incredible. You can go take your kids to a vintage shop and talk about the trends when you used to wear them back in your day, and your kids are wearing them now, because that's what's cool now, and it's really cool, and you can see what has survived the harsh winds of trends and what hasn't. Generation Z is growing up in a changing world in many, many ways. One of those ways being tech. Tech is a huge part of our day-to-day lives, and getting us a gift in tech is something we'd certainly appreciate. One of the things that we love so much is gaming. And that does sound a little cheesy, but gaming has moved on from just being a solitary thing where you sit in a room and play one game. In fact, most of my social interactions come from gaming with other people. It's a very multiplayer experience now, a lot of games are, and it's super fun, and you talk to your friends and hang out while gaming together. That's a huge piece of Generation Z interaction, and it would mean the world to us if you got us a few video games and actually asked us what kinds of video games we're interested in, because yes, it makes a difference. If in doubt, buy a Steam gift card. We'll appreciate it, I promise. PC upgrades are another great thing. My PC, personally, is acting up a lot right now, and I really need to upgrade it. If your kid knows a lot about PCs, then letting them upgrade their PC themselves by getting them some new parts or letting them pick out new parts will make their computer run smoother, as well as give them a great learning experience on how their computer actually works. If they don't, then it's totally fine to get someone else to do it for you. It would just be really nice to have a lot smoother of a PC right now. And last but not least, if your kid doesn't have a smartphone yet, please get on it. Everyone has a smartphone in this generation. I know some of you may think that it's rotting their brain, etc., etc. This is what I use to, well, this is first of all what I'm using to shoot this video right now. I have all my notes on here. I talk to all my friends on here. I write on here. I do my homework on here. Pretty much everything is digital now, and a smartphone is a more portable way to stay connected to everything going on. This is also my main source for topics, for videos, checking the news on here. I do so much on my phone. It's a lot more than just playing mind-numbing video games like Candy Crush. We're not just interested in new tech, we're also very interested in vintage tech. Yes, we know what a CD is. Yes, we know what a cassette is. Please stop asking. We are very, very interested in vinyls. Vinyls are another thing that a lot of my friends really want. A lot of popular artists, pretty much all sorts of artists, honestly, are releasing their music on vinyl. And that is an amazing collector's item to show how much you love a band, as well as they're just pretty. And you can get us a record player to go along with it. I have a lot of friends who have vinyls and no record player, and I find it kind of silly. So get a record player, and you can talk about back in the day when you used to listen to records, if you did listen to records back in the day. I don't know how long ago records were. And another thing that we're really interested in is Polaroid cameras. And Polaroids, they are the best things ever. I actually have a renewed Polaroid camera, which is one of the coolest things ever. So if you can get your kid one of those, that's great. There are a lot of brands that have Polaroid cameras, so your kid can take them around, take pictures with friends, and keep them as a portable photograph that they can remember forever, because a lot of photographs are very temporary on phones now. So having a physical representation is always something that we'd appreciate. That is just a short list of some of the things that you may want to consider for your kid this Christmas. Make sure to ask them. Like I said, if all else fails, ask. If you want to surprise someone, that's great, but please make sure you actually know what we want. We'd much rather get something we want that we knew we were getting than be surprised with something we're not that enthused about. It is a really amazing thing. We are an amazing generation, and despite what some of us say, a lot of us really do love our parents, and I'm sure whatever you guys pick out will be absolutely fantastic for your kids. This is just a list if you don't know where to get started. Talk to your kids, start having conversations about their interests and how they identify, and you can find the perfect Christmas gift, I promise. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to press that subscribe button down below to see more videos like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!